of Saints and Sinners by Morningstar Writes. Chapter 27. The Promotion. After the hotel residents arrive in the town square, they set up their instruments underneath a wooden gazebo. The lattice trellises are covered with blooming flower vines, and the structure provides a welcome shade from the afternoon sun. "Beautiful spot, babe," Maggie says supportively. Charlie grins, looking pleased as punch.
"Thanks, Maggie."
As Charlie fiddles with her microphone stand, Lucifer makes his way over to her. He's naturally assuming that they'll perform side by side, but then she stops him with a raised hand.
"Dad, so I sort of have a specific vision for our show today. I want you to stand over there."
She points and Lucifer spins to look at that direction. "Over where?"
"I'll take you to the spot."
She grabs him by the shoulders, relentlessly pushes him until he reaches the edge of the gazebo, and he's met with the tall figure of Alastor, of all people. He's standing far away from everyone else, and he has Nifty sitting on his shoulder. They stare at each other for a moment, and Charlie nudges Lucifer to get his attention.
"Okay. Dad, can you stand beside Alastor?"
"Huh? Why?"
"I want us to stand in a row. That way it'll be one tall,"
she gestures towards Alastor.
"one short,"
Motions to Lucifer.
"tall again,"
She points to herself.
"and so on. I think we'll look more balanced this way."
He balks at this. I don't know, Charlie. Honestly, Lucifer isn't quite sure how to talk to Alastor at this point. Now that they're secretly dating, that probably sums up their relationship, right? They're supposed to keep their interactions as normal as possible, but he's having trouble remembering how they usually act. Alastor doesn't seem to share his concerns, however, and he effortlessly slips back into repartee.
"Oh, perhaps you'll absorb some of my musical prowess by standing nearby. You certainly need it."
Lucifer groans, but inwardly he feels reassured to hear his rude remarks. "As if I'd ask you. Why don't you learn a little something from me instead?"
"And what is that exactly? Will you teach me your ways of being horribly off-key?"
"Wow," Lucifer says sarcastically. "Nope, I'm just here to show you what real music sounds like."
"Oh, is it polka?"
Nifty says excitedly, and Alastor sends her a withering glare.
"Nifty, my dear, you should refrain from encouraging him."
Charlie waves at them wildly, trying to get their attention.
"We're gonna start soon. Nifty, come with me. Why don't you stand beside Angel?"
Without waiting for an answer, she reaches up to pluck her off of Alastor's shoulder. The two of them dash away. Oddly enough, everyone else is on the other side of the pavilion, leaving Alastor and Lucifer behind. Alone together at last. Lucifer turns to him and they face off, silently study each other. Alastor's red eyes feel hot on his face. It burns right through him, through his skin, to his blood, to his bones, and... oh, jeez! Can't breathe! Lucifer nervously yanks at his shirt collar, and Alastor's gaze slides towards the motion. What he's supposed to say right now, anyway? Bickering is a knee-jerk reaction for them. He's always rejoiced in how he can make Alastor lose his composure, but there's something else in the air. An electric frisson, impossible to ignore. He feels it thrum in his veins when they lock eyes, and Lucifer's having increasing difficulty with keeping his cool. But once again, Alastor's demeanor is positively unaffected. He uses his radio cane to draw a line between them, marking a clear division.
"Since you will be performing nearby, why don't you keep to your side,
It wasn't my idea to come over here.
"I guess Charlie's very special vision."
Alastor says sardonically.
"Although if one were to have a height be truly balanced, you would need to step on a stool."
Lucifer scowls. Or you could get lower.
"Even if I gravelled at your feet, I would still be taller than you."
Alastor laughs, sounding thoroughly amused by the notion, and Lucifer wants to wipe that smug smile off his face. So he beckons Alastor over with his finger. "Come here."
"What is it?"
He sounds suspicious, but Alastor does walk to him. Once they're standing across from each other, Lucifer intentionally lowers his voice, so quiet that Alastor has to lean in to hear him. "Prove it then," Lucifer murmurs. "Kneel." And Alastor snaps his head back, gaze flicking between his face to the ground and then upwards again, his eyes wide with surprise. they don't speak. Can't speak, actually, because that's when Charlie taps on the microphone a few times, indicating that they're about to begin their performance.
Hi there! We're from the Has-Been Hotel. Are you new to hell? Come join us for free food, free shelter, and protection from any bloodthirsty people.
Nifty strikes her two cymbals together, making a loud cling.
We'll show you how to handle yourself in hell, how to become a better, stronger person, and how to have a good time. Safely, of course.
Angel Dust lets out a single blare from his trumpet.
You can come and go as you please. And the best part is, you don't have to sign a contract with an overlord to stay alive.
This attracts a few curious onlookers and the crowd around the gazebo.
We'll be performing a few songs today. We do fun stuff like this all the time. So if you're interested, come join us at the hotel.
Charlie raises her conductor's baton. A 5, 6, 7, 8. And they start playing music. They perform songs together for the rest of the day. People mill about, picking up the leaflets that are stacked neatly on the ground, or tossing in some money. Husket eagerly set his hat down on the ground for this part. A cute, small-looking demon even throws in a single flower before running away. When they're finally done their set list, Charlie tucks the flower into her hair and then nudges Lucifer.
Dad, you wanted to perform something, right?
Yeah, thanks, dear. Lucifer stands at the center of the pavilion, and he replaces his fiddle with his accordion. He presses a key. Alastor tuts disapprovingly.
You should inform the audience of the rules first before you begin.
Yeah. Lucifer rolls his eyes, but he turns to the crowd. All right, for the next 2 songs, can you clap for the one that you like? We're having a little competition, and whoever gets the louder applause is the winner. When Charlie nods at him, he plays an energetic song that he knows is a crowd pleaser. It's lively, fun, and brisk. Nifty even dances along at the front, twirling happily to the beat. Once he's completed, he receives a hearty round of applause, and he bows with a flourish. Yay! Nifty runs over to Lucifer and starts to climb up his leg. Again! She only makes it to his knee before Alastor strides towards them, his long legs taking him over in a flash. He wrenches her off fluidly, so quick that Lucifer feels a breeze from his movement.
Oh, Nifty, that little performance was nothing.
Nothing, Lucifer repeats heatedly.
A mere amuse-bouche, if you will.
Alastor smirks at him, and he throws Nifty into the arms of Husk.
Prepare yourself for the entree.
Alastor materializes a mahogany bench, and then he conjures up a fucking harpsichord. What the hell? Lucifer is absolutely flabbergasted as he stares at the instrument. He hasn't seen one of these in a while because it's ancient. Although it resembles a piano, the harpsichord features a double keyboard layered on top of one another. And of course, the one Alastor summons is ostentatiously grand, the wood gleaming under the sun. He sits down on the musical bench, his hands poised elegantly. Once Alastor plays the first note, Lucifer knew it was his loss. Game, set, match. God! The song Alastor plays sounds brittle, yet charming, formal, yet accessible. He moves between the 2 keyboards with practiced skill. The crowd oohs and ahs with every musical verse, and they crescendo with a thunderous applause when he finishes. Alastor shoots him a triumphant smile.
Well, the score appears to be 3-2.
You fucking show-off. Lucifer can't help but admire him just a little. Fine. What'll it be?
I have yet to decide. I suppose you have something to look forward to now.
Alastor cackles, already disappearing by means of his shadow, when he says,
I'm tired of seeing your face, so I will be taking my leave.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Lucifer shouts, but he's already gone. Everyone splits up afterwards except Vaggie and Lucifer, and they distribute flyers together in front of the pavilion. They haven't spent much time with each other, which consequently meant that they didn't have much to talk about. She looks over at him, and when they make eye contact, they both smile at each other uncomfortably. Lucifer clears his throat, breaking the silence. So, you've been with Charlie for a while now, huh? Is he gonna tell me that I'm not good enough for his daughter? Maggie thinks a bit concerned. Threaten to kill me if I break her heart? That's how these parent talks go, right? Yes, sir. She saved me after heaven, well, abandoned me. Ugh. Lucifer's face is full of empathy, and she softens at this, because needless to say, he knows how it feels. It's possible that they're the only two people in hell who have gone through a situation like this, to be used by heaven and then eventually tossed away. She helped me with my eye. Faggy points at her wound, which is hidden by her long hair. Honestly, her kindness blew me away. That sounds like Charlie, Lucifer says fondly. They hand out brochures to some passers-by, and then Maggie begins the conversation this time. I know you just came back from a... She gestures up towards Evan. How are you feeling? She's not that great at small talk, or even about saying the right thing, so her sentences come out awkwardly. Lucifer doesn't seem to mind, though. He peers off into the distance, 1,000-yard stare. Honestly, it's kind of hard to focus, you know. Yeah, I felt the same way. It was so weird for me to go back up. And it's not any easier the second time around. It's like everything looks the same, but it feels different now. Lucifer finishes his sentence, and she nods. Completely. They share a look of understanding, two individuals connected by past trauma. And after all this time, Maggie feels like she finally gets Lucifer. That he's been hurt in the past, but he's still here, making the best of it, a kindred spirit. And undoubtedly he deserves to have a good life in hell. Which is... what? Maggie tries to visualize what that would even mean for him, and she flashbacks to all those photographs Angel Dust had of him and Alastor. She doesn't see the appeal in the radio demon whatsoever, but Lucifer seemed to enjoy his presence. Maybe she should work a little harder at this whole ODD, Operation Dad's Dating, plan that Charlie embarked on. So, how are you... and Alastor, she wants to say, but it sounds so unsettled she has to change tactics. Instead, she asks, are you happy? Me? Lucifer pauses, and then his face breaks into a smile so dazzling it practically rivals the sun. I'm the happiest I've been in ages. Maggie has to shield her eyes from him, but she smiles back. That's great, sir. I'm glad to hear that. Plus, now she knows which parent Charlie resembles more. I told you! It's Lucifer! An unfamiliar voice shouts, and they both turn to look at who it is. A group of sinners approach them, all of them, so tall that they tower over Maggie and Lucifer. She immediately straightens her back. But Lucifer doesn't look threatened at all. Yep, the one and only. See? He was promoting... One of them starts to say before she trails off sheepishly. What were you promoting again? He hands over a brochure, which she takes, and her friends all crowd around to see it. Oh, this is from the Has-Been Hotel. Didn't angels fight there at the last extermination? We won, Maggie says flatly. The demons don't seem deterred by her caustic tone, probably because they're way too preoccupied with talking to Lucifer. What's there to do at this hotel? It's fun, Lucifer says. Charlie has some trust exercises, right? We also have songs and dancing. Maggie lifts it off on her fingers. We have rooms. Will you be there? They cut her off, speaking to Lucifer. Well, I work there, so yeah. They all light up at this, but there's a nefarious glint in their eyes. Maggie would normally elaborate some more, but she has a weird feeling about this group. Lucifer seems to pick up on her discomfort, and he swivels to look at her. You okay? He mouths. Maggie nods, but she never takes her eyes off of them. Amazing! The demon snatches up a couple pamphlets. So, Lucifer, what room are you in? That's confidential, Maggie interjects, glaring at them. She can hear Charlie in the back of her head saying that everyone deserves second chances, but surely not these people. Whatever, the demon huffs. We'll definitely be there. Or don't, Maggie calls out. It's too late, however. The sinners ignore her, chatting excitedly amongst themselves as they walk away. Alastor had only teleported a few blocks away from Lucifer. He can still see him from a distance, handing out leaflets with Vaggie. It had been a necessary retreat because he was feeling off-kilter, a bit unbalanced. And the culprit was entirely Lucifer and his ridiculous throwaway comment. "Kneel!" he had said. Alastor grits his teeth together, his dear ears flattening because... Why does that sound ever so appealing? All these sensations surrounding Lucifer made him strangely lightheaded, with delight, with dismay, and it's an impossible task for him to adjust to it. He considers departing to his radio tower, spend some time alone to think, to plan, to observe. He's a little different now, engaged in a romantic affair, of all things, and it's completely uncharted territory for him. So what is there to do? But he gets distracted from his thoughts when he hears it. Some peculiar whisperings. Alastor's dear ears perk up, and he tries to pick up on the source. He hones in on a group of demons, tall and strong-looking, all holding up flyers that have the words "Has-Been Hotel" on them. They still sound muffled, and so he approaches them slowly, making sure to conceal himself in his shadow. At this proximity, he can finally hear their chatter. "Okay, since Lucifer is staying at the Has-Been Hotel, we should go there. Now." "Really?" another one says. "Do we need an invite or something?" "He said we have to do something first, an exercise or whatever." "An exercise with Lucifer?" One of them cackles. "Oh, hell yeah, I'm up for anything if it's with him. His bat says, and I'm ready to be bitten." Alastor bristles at the implication, but he continues to eavesdrop. "What?" The other demon crinkles their nose. "He's kind of short, isn't he? I don't like that in a guy. I want to have sex with someone who's bigger than me." "Whatever, I'm just gonna go to the hotel and see if he's down to fuck. I haven't had a good lay in a while." I call dibs after. The rest of their conversation fades, disappears into a faint noise, because he's submerged in an utter overwhelming anger. It crashes into him, engulfs him entirely. Alastor clenches his fist, his eyes distorting into radio dials. How dare they talk about Lucifer in this way, like he's not important, like he's just something to use and discard once they're done. Trash, the lot of them. Disgusting, 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 disgusting. He knows what to do now. His tentacles burst out to grab them, flinging them into the air. Their screams are music to his ears, the siren call of the weak.
Do share more details. I am dying to know your plans,"
Alastor says, fake pleasantly, his voice muffled and dark. "What gives?" one of them shrieks. He ignores their cries, his smile widening until he's practically all teeth.
"If I see you around the hotel, I will tear you limb from limb, and I will go as slow as possible, ensuring that you feel every agonizing second of pain."
He squeezes them tighter, enough that they can't help but choke.
"I will find your loved ones and devour you in front of them."
He grows bigger and bigger and bigger, his entire body glowing green.
"And as they scream, begging me to stop, I will kill them too."
One of them gasps, trying to speak. Alastor loosens his grip a little, and she coughs out, "We won't go! We won't, okay?"
Good.
Alastor drops them without a care, and they smack against the pavement painfully. They scramble away fast as lightning, and he reverts back to his usual form. Undoubtedly, if they had shown up at the hotel, Lucifer would have dealt with them swiftly. It was wholly unnecessary for him to do any of this. Still, he didn't like it. Didn't like what they were saying, didn't like what they were planning. He feels somewhat satisfied to see their cowering backs, but it's not enough. He still feels sickened, and he puts his hand over his neck uncomfortably. What can he do to feel a little better? An image of Lucifer appears in his head and he lets out a sigh. Fine, I will give in for now. Alastor materializes right between Lucifer and Baggy, smacking in her so hard she falls onto the ground. Alastor, you shit-ass! Baggy growls, wincing from the pain. What the fuck was that for?
Oops, Alastor sings. I must have miscalculated.
It was intentional, of course. She had been standing a little too close to Lucifer. You okay? Lucifer sounds concerned. He sticks his hand out to help her up. Baggy is about to accept it when Alastor knocks Lucifer's hand away with his radio cane and offers that to her instead. What do you want, anyway? Baggy grumbles. She ends up grabbing his cane, and Alastor lifts her onto her feet.
Charlie asked for your assistance, my dear.
Alastor lies smoothly. He snatches up the brochures in her hands and waves her away.
I shall finish up on your behalf,
At the name of Charlie, Baggy's posture relaxes. Really? I'll go find her now, then. She waves goodbye. Lucifer waves back. Alastor does not. And off she goes. When he's certain that she's gone, he turns to Lucifer. They're standing near enough that their arms brush against each other slightly, accidentally on purpose. I thought you left, Lucifer says wryly. What are you doing here? He opens his mouth, thinking of an excuse to say, but it's hushed in his head. All the bewilderment, the rage, it's gone when they're face to face like this. How pleasant it is for his mind to be quiet for once. He remains silent, and Lucifer lifts his hand, like he's about to touch his arm, but he pinches the hem of Alastor's sleeve instead, tugs at it, trying to get his attention. You okay? Lucifer asks, a tinge of worry in his voice. Alastor looks down at where he's holding, but he doesn't make a move. Okay, do play. Lucifer drops his hand, unfortunately, and crosses his arms instead. Let's get out of here. Alastor tilts his head.
Oh, wherever shall you take me?
Lucifer creates a portal, and it shimmers invitingly. My place. Charlie, I finally found you. Maggie runs up to her, and she's a little out of breath. What did you need me for? Charlie blinks in confusion.
I always want to see you, Maggie, but I don't remember asking you for anything.
Really? Alastor told me you wanted my help.
Oh, that's kind of strange. I haven't seen him since he finished his performance.
Maggie smacks her own forehead, looking annoyed. I guess he just wanted me to leave. God, and I fell for it.
Ah, Maggie, it's okay.
Charlie pats her head reassuringly.
Now that you're here, you want to head back together? I think we've done a lot today.
Sure, huh? As they walk down the street together, Charlie can feel someone's watchful eye on her back. She turns around, concerned about who it could be, but she doesn't seem to see anyone.
Hey!
She looks around.
Did someone say something? Yeah, down here.
Charlie drops her gaze downwards, and she's suddenly eye to eye with a couple of small sinners. They're about as tall as Nifty, and she recognizes one of them, the one who threw a flower during their performance.
Oh, hi! I know you. You gave us this, right?
Charlie motions towards the flower, which is still tucked behind her ear.
Yeah, you look pretty with it,
the demon says shyly. It's an innocent remark, and Charlie coos over it internally.
What a sweetie! Maggie, don't you think she's so cute?
Charlie says happily. Maggie squints at the tiny demon, but then nods begrudgingly. Sure.
Did you need something?
Charlie asks. The group of them exchange timid glances before finally pushing the smallest one forward.
Right, we saw your performance and your hotel sounds kind of nice. We're near to hell and we're not sure what to do here. Can you help? Charlie's eyes start to water. No way! Is this really happening? Did we actually manage to reach someone's heart?
She takes in a deep breath and shouts,
Of course we'll help!
For some odd reason, Lucifer brings him outside of his house. They sit together on the porch steps, right in front of the entrance, and he looks at Alastor unblinkingly. You seem tense. Did something happen?
Do I now?
It's always a shock when Lucifer can pick up even the slightest change in his mood, and Alastor sidesteps the question.
So this is your mansion, How needlessly gaudy.
Hey. He sends him a dirty look. It's perfect, all right?
Considering that you did decorate the Has-Been Hotel in such an awful manner, I should have expected nothing less.
What? You just make everything red and black.
Such big talk from someone who only enjoys circus imagery.
They glare at each other, although it's nothing serious. It never is, really. Lucifer backs down first, his eyes downcast. But, seriously, he continues delicately. You good? You had a weird look on your face.
And what is Alastor supposed to say to that? I heard some sinners speak ill about you, and I felt nauseated. I wanted to see you, so now I'm here. How utterly nonsensical.
Lucifer is still waiting for an answer, so he settles on a half-truth.
I was hoping to be alone.
Oh. He furrows his eyebrows. Whoops, I should go then, huh? Or you can go. I don't even... What should...
You!
Alastor snarls, and now he has a headache.
He places his hand on his forehead, the pain pulsating like a familiar beat at this point.
Do not make me say it.
Say what? Lucifer looks genuinely puzzled. Alastor doesn't know whether to hit him or hold him.
I was hoping to be alone.
With you, he finishes the sentence in his head. Because you perplex me, you draw me in, you help with the confusion, yet you also add to it. The headache transforms into a pressing migraine, and he lets out a growl, irritated at his inability to express affection. What is wrong with him? Is there something wrong with him? Alastor puts both hands over his eyes, trying to calm his breathing. And then he feels something press on his shoulder. Alastor peeks through his fingers, half expecting it to be Lucifer's hand or something, but it's... He had leaned his head against Alastor's shoulder. An action he had never done before. Soft blonde hair, his delicious scent, bright golden eyes which look at him worriedly. Alastor takes in a sharp breath at the contact, but he doesn't jerk away. His headache wanes. They sit there together, and Alastor drops his hands into his lap. A miracle cure once again. Did you figure out what request you want to make? Lucifer asks, his head still on his shoulder. Alastor considers it, and then nods. He had been wondering about something for a while.
I would like to see your very mystifying preparations.
Alastor glances at him from the corner of his eye.
In fact, why don't you show me now,
Lucifer lifts his head up in surprise. That's your request? He waits for Lucifer to put his head back down, and when he doesn't, there's a slight pang in Alastor's chest. It burns inside of him, an unrecognizable feeling. He swivels towards Lucifer, wanting to ask him to lay his head on him, but he's unable to produce a sound. Very well then, Alastor thinks, exasperated at himself. He places his hand on Lucifer's cheek. No matter how many times he does it, it's still a marvel to feel his smooth skin, the soft warmth that exudes from within. Alastor cradles him carefully in his palm, before bringing Lucifer's head back down onto his shoulder. Oh, Lucifer says quietly, and it's a nice oh, a content oh, and Alastor doesn't dare look at him because he can feel his own face warm up. What a pity it is that he's still prone to these physiological responses. Eventually, Lucifer says, You could keep your request.
Alastor has a hard time processing it at first.
Are you declining?
It may have been called a request, but neither one of them had ever turned it down before. No. That's not what I meant. Lucifer sounds frantic. I mean, I was gonna show you anyway, so, why don't you hold on to it and make a different request later?
Oh.
Alastor blinks.
What a generous offer.
And he genuinely means it. You can follow me. Lucifer gets up from the stoop. It's right around the corner.
What is?
Lucifer looks at him, a mysterious smile on his face. What I've made for you.